It should be either way. Shanghai moving on over Ryan Hart.
What's going on, ladies and gents? Your boy FGC Gama, and I'm here with the legendary player, Ryan Hart. How's it going, sir? How's it going?
Hi. Let me shake that hand. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. Yeah, man. ELEAGUE.
Yeah, ELEAGUE. This is a big deal, man.
It is, yeah.
I mean, you're a guy. You've been at Evo. You've been to like countless tournaments, right? So you're not really unfamiliar with the tournament scene.
Not at all. No.
But this is a whole nother monster.
This for production quality is out of this world.
Please elaborate. How has
no, seriously, like they've put so much effort into making this a really solid production, really quality commentary team, really solid setups for all the players. They look after the players so well. They make sure that we're all fed. We have places to stay. We have places to practice when we want to level up our game. So they really do a good job of making us feel welcome and providing all the things we need for it to be a brilliant event.
They're like overly accommodating, right?
Yeah.
You know, I was joking around with one of the other players. I was like, how could you even go to a normal tournament after this, right?
True.
You're borderline like just waiting for your star to be on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? So it's going to take you some time to now kind of, you know, downsize or downgrade going forward. But pretty much you've been enjoying ELEAGUE, right? I've
been having a great time. It's just, you know, it's like a big social gathering now. You know, we get together, guys from all over the world. We get to meet up at these kind of events and catch up on the latest and greatest. So, yeah.
Right. And, you know, you're in a good mood, it looks like. And surprisingly, because, you know, we just kind of watched
I just lost, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit.
Well,
man.
I think for me, you know, I know who I am as a player. I know what I'm capable of. And me losing the way I lost today, I accept that I simply just don't have the hours. Because, you know, the player I was before when I was winning majors, that player put in a lot of hours to be that good. Right. Because it's a complicated structure what we're doing on fighting games. It's not just pick up and play. It takes hours and hours of training and research and creativity, full expression in the training mode, trying to level up your character, trying to develop stuff. All of that takes a long time to develop, you know. Even for top players, it takes a long time to get everything in the way you want it to be to represent yourself at a tournament. And then there are things like having regular events so that you're prepared for you're prepared to take on pressure, you know, that you're able to perform on a live stage in front of a big audience, you're able to handle your nerves. Like all of these things take time and repetition and experience. And when it comes to those things, I think I have the experience behind me, but you need to also have recent experience as well, and you also need to have recent hours of training put in so that you're accommodated with all the latest tech that has come out in the game. And, you know, I'll be honest, like since I started a full-time job and got married, I just don't have those hours that made me a sick player before. Those hours I used to put in and drill stuff on training mode. I don't have those free anymore. I got bills and stuff. Like, I haven't got those kind of hours free. Yeah, I got to do stuff. You know, there's things that out-prioritize gaming now. As much as I love it as a passion, you know, and a hobby, it doesn't take precedence over the things that people are counting on me for. And, you know, that's just the way it is right now. And I've accepted that. You know, I've even talked to sponsors and said that, you know, I'm probably not going to be taking on new contracts just because I know that if I don't have the right amount of time to put in, I don't feel like I can represent a company in the right way that they deserve to have me represent them.
So you're not running away with no fight money.
No, I'm not into that. If they can't get a solid product out of me, then I won't put myself on the market. So, you know, that's just my personal opinion on the matter anyway. So me losing here today was okay because I know I haven't been able to put the hours in. I think I would be upset if I'd trained hard, I'd sacrificed things, I'd, you know, played every day and, you know, like I've just been grinding like 8 to 10 hours a day or whatever, then I came and lost. I think I would be upset then. But I know that if I had put those hours in, just from what I've seen on the players today, I know that I would have won today. I know that had I have had the time to put the hours in, I could definitely beat everyone that's here. But it's just the reality that this is a very difficult competitive entity. You know, it's a very, you need to have time to put in, and that time has to be productive. It can't be spent, you know, just doing anything. You need to know specific things that can improve the quality of your gameplay for events like this.
That's very interesting that you said that, man. You know, I interviewed F-Champ. I think it was last week, right? And one of the questions that I asked them was like, you know, he's been in the scene for quite some time. How much does age play into it? And he gave a very similar answer.
I'm talking about like in general, right? So like, so I don't think it's the age.
Right.
It's the every time when you age, you gain more responsibilities in life. Like, you know, you have to like do some things, and maybe some people get married, and some people like have to get a job or open a business. You know, some real life stuff. You know, and that sometimes affects the performance because your attention is divided.
Those are the factors that we don't pay attention, and it kind of opened up my eyes. I said, man, you're kind of saying something very similar.
It's definitely true. I mean, you've got people, you know, really unfortunate people that have lost their parents early in life, and they end up taking on the role of the masters of the house. You know, you've got like 17-year-old teenage boys who have to look after the younger sisters. You know, got like 3 younger sisters, got to take care of them, make sure they go to school, make sure they get their meals, make sure they get to bed on time. Like, suddenly you're the parent of a household and you don't even a household that you don't even fully understand yourself. It doesn't depend on your age. It depends on the circumstances of your life. It depends on it depends on what your the situations your surroundings present. So for the most part, I think people just find themselves in a situation where they like, oh wow, they realize I just don't have the time anymore. You know? So by the way, it wasn't an arrogant thing. I didn't mean like, oh, I'm the best. No, there are loads of top quality talent all around the world. There are players better than me as well. But I'm just saying, as a confident person that I am, I know myself and I know what I can deliver on a big stage.
Just keeping it real, man.
Yeah, and that's all. I didn't mean to disrespect anyone.
No, I got it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying because I know myself and I've seen, you know, how it goes. So I know that, but it comes at a price, and that price is time. You need to put the time in before you show up for the big stage events.
Absolutely, man.
So I've actually felt worse when Luffy lost than when I lost, because Luffy looks like a guy, you know, he's sponsored by Red Bull, he's playing professionally, like that's his career, you know. And seeing him lose, I know he must have been putting in work. You know, he had a month to train up for this, so he's been like, when he qualified, he must have been like, yeah, I'm ready for the big stage now. I'm gonna about to make this money, you know what I'm saying? And he's trained up for the month he had, and he's come here and now he's lost, and I don't think he's even in the semi-finals. So that's a real shame for him, because he's actually really playing. So I would feel that. You know, I actually felt for him, because I know he's a very good player as well, you know. So yeah, I think that is really hard to swallow.
It is.
But yeah, I think for me, obviously I don't like losing. It's not a fun thing. It's great that you learn. It's great that you learn more about yourself from the experiences. But right now, I simply can't take it that seriously about losing, because seriously, what was I expecting? Because at the end of the day, obviously I didn't come here with the mindset, oh, I'm going to lose. I gave it my all, but in losing, you know, that retrospect, you know, just in hindsight, I know that it's not really enough. What I was planning to win with wasn't enough, and you know, in retrospect, I can see that now and say that confidently. But I also know I have more to give, so I think that is, I don't know, you feel okay with it, because you know that's not your limit. You know that you're not maxed out. You know that you haven't met your match per se. It's more a situation of you just don't have the time to commit, and that's something that is or isn't in your control. But it's not something that it's not something where you're limited by who you are as a person or your genetics or whatever. You know, it's something you could, in theory, change. But it's not worth the change because of the other things you'd have to sacrifice. But it's interesting because you know, I'm kind of in the situation where I'm slightly older than some of the other players, and I've been doing this for a very long time. So I feel like I'm in a very good situation to give back to the community in terms of teaching about how life changes when you get married. You know,
talk about that.
How life changes when you don't have as much time. What you need to change when you move away from your community, because that's another change of my life. I moved away from my offline community to a very slightly rural area in Germany, where my wife lives, and you know, we live together now, and basically that meant that I was away from my regular scene that I leveled up with. You know, we all grow together, you know, and we had a weekly tournament, we had offline sessions, you know, on a regular basis. Now, having that stripped from my regime meant that I now had no way of really having regular practice against good players. And I'm restricted to just playing online now.
The new CFN beta just
rolled out servers, man, the servers, it's a nightmare. I thought it's where I live, because I don't have the greatest internet. So I thought just where I live is bad, but I mean, I saw Bonchan online, and it's like, you know, that classic annoying sound, and then just see him like that. It's global. It's all around the world. It is. You know, I know that Capcom are always working to fix it and stuff, and hopefully they'll get there in the end. But it is marring the progress of players all around the world that are reliant on online to get better at the game.
Yeah, man. Wow. You know, it's a lot of information that you just touched on right there. You know what I mean? I definitely appreciate you elaborating as much as you did.
No problem.
You know, we're going to shift gears just for a moment, try to keep things a little bit lighthearted now,
Of course.
You know, so we're talking to a Guinness World record holder.
Oh, you had to go on.
Games. I had to, man.
You had to Google me.
I had to. You know, Tekken 5, Tekken Tag, and a few other things I think you've done. Yeah. I just want to ask you really quickly, like, what is probably your most memorable moment in the FGC thus far?
There are a lot, because depending on what game I won, there's a different set of emotions that go with that, based on the community behind me, based on the training I put in, based on the places I've traveled for that particular game.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to do with my background on that specific game. I really appreciated, there were a lot of moments, so I'll just give you one. I really appreciated one moment. It was at EVO 2008.
Okay.
And I was in the grand finals, and I was 2-1 up in the winners bracket, so I just needed one more game.
Yeah.
And I think on the final round of that game, somebody in the crowd pressed the PS button, and the menu came up, and the crowd were like, "Ooh," you know.
Yeah.
And there was all this like noise, and everyone started chatting, and then the judges got up and said, "Right." Oh, by the way, just to fill you in, I had a stick that didn't have a home button, because I had like an old Namco stick with a PS3 converter. So they were like, it can't have been him because he doesn't have a PS button.
Right.
So it must be the other guy. And they were just about to award me the win.
Yeah.
And, you know, crown me the champion. And I said, no, I don't want to win like that. And before that moment, the crowd had been cheering for the other guy.
Right.
Because he's from, I can't remember, I think he's either from... Oh man, this is so bad. He's not going to like.
He was more local than you.
But he was more local to the US than I was, all the way from Europe. So they had been cheering for him all the way up until that point when I denied taking the victory. I said, I want to fight this out. I came to win Evo. Let me win Evo. Don't just give me the trophy.
Right.
So we had to run the whole match back, and I won 3-0. And they, for the first time, they started cheering for me.
Right.
They were happy that I'd not just taken the DQ and played it out. And I just felt so special. I felt really elated. I felt really happy. And I just don't think it was the right thing to do.
Evo 2008 World Champion, second DR, Ryan Hart. Give it up.
Wow. So I'm kind of proud of that. I'm kind of proud that I won Evo in such a manner.
The crowd around right then and there.
Yeah, it was a nice feeling.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
No problem.
You know, I know it's busy. A lot of things are going on, so I'm not going to be able to hold you up too much longer. Last and final question, however. 30 years of Street Fighter, 30th year anniversary, I should say.
Yeah.
And you're definitely one of those guys that have been around for a while now.
Started the Street Fighter 1. Exactly. I was there.
So you have been around from the beginning. What does Street Fighter mean to you?
Oh, wow. That's a big question. Street Fighter is the catalyst for my global travels, for this brilliant community that I've been able to be a part of and learn about and develop many, many great friends all around the world from. So it will always have a very, very special place in my heart.
Wow, perfect answer. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Ryan Hart at ELEAGUE. Peace and love.
I didn't win ELEAGUE, but it was fun being here. Thanks, man.